Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to .hack GU. We have some stuff to read. So, I guess it's time to get reading. We'll hit the news first. There's usually topics in the forums that are talking about the news. Salvador Aihara, still not really going to watch you. I'm going to click into it, though, just so that it goes away. I don't like seeing that blinking new sign all the time. New space station has been named. The new International Space Station, due to be completed soon, will be officially known as Village. Like its predecessor, Evolution, the name was decided upon by children of all ages worldwide. The lucky winner, 14-year-old Mayako Mikomoto, dubbed the station Village because she hoped it would be like a friendly small town. That's kind of cool. I'm so happy to have been chosen. I'd love to travel to space and conduct exciting new research someday. Mikimoto is expected to be invited to the inauguration ceremony in several months' time. Village will be tested extensively before its launch. One only hopes that it will succeed in becoming a symbol without borders to exemplify the spirit of worldwide cooperation. Aw, that's really cool. I like that. Oh, and we got, like, movies and stuff to watch, too. Okay. So, new robot weapon has been announced. Awesome. Airborne surveillance, bomb disposal, guerrilla warfare, unmanned robots are widely used on today's battlefields. Now, the US has just completed a new robot soldier known as Talos. I believe I understand the principle behind Talos. The Talos principle, if you will. These robotic soldiers are equipped with automatic weapons and 40mm grenades. They can use their built-in night vision to see in the dark, and their special tank treads allow them to traverse any road, whether through deep forest or over a steep mountain. On top of that, these heavily armored robotic soldiers can be remote controlled from a distance by human hand. Concerns have been raised that Talos' control systems could fail and they could go on a destructive rampage. The military insists, however, that the Talos security systems are state-of-the-art and there's absolutely no danger of control being lost. Oh, boy howdy. That famous last words. I don't know if we want to watch the movie or not. We'll skip it this time. And then this one seems a little more specifically relevant to the world. Girls coma due to online gaming. Sometime last night, a junior high school student who had been playing an online game was found unconscious in her room by her mother. I'm assuming the game was The World. The girl was taken to a hospital where she soon regained consciousness. Okay, so she's not actually in, like, a long-term coma. Similar incidents have occurred in the world before, making this the latest in a number of troubling events. We will watch this movie.
Late last night, a middle school student lost consciousness while playing an online game and was not discovered until this morning by her mother, who quickly called 911. The girl was transported to a hospital and regained consciousness several hours later.
I wonder if that's anybody we know. Man, I haven't been paying super close attention to, like, when new things have been popping up here because we've just been building a backlog of stuff to read. I wonder if that's, like, Alcade or something. Like, if Haseo knocked her out, put her in a minor unconsciousness, state of unconsciousness, there we go, for a little while when he avatared her right in the face. I don't know. I think that's been there for a while, though, so I don't think that's actually the case, but who the heck knows. Anyway, art. Shocking. Online Oedipus? Something that could never happen in real life has now happened online. A man marrying his mother. Oh, that's... This bizarre act took place in the popular game The World. Strike another blow against online romance. So there were just two players. Yeah, a college student by the name of John Doe began to fall in love with a cleric from his guild, Jane Doe, and confessed his love for her several months later. They were married in an online ceremony in The World, the game that they met in. But Some days later, the two agreed to meet in person for the first time, and who should show up but a son and his mother. It is unknown what the husband/father's reaction was upon hearing this news. Oh, that's so weird. I can't even imagine if my parents played any games at all, let alone like an MMO. That's bizarre to me. Alright, community forum. It's not entirely bizarre. I know that, like, my mom used to be really into Pac-Man way back when she was a lot younger. When she was younger than I am now. And my dad also got into Pac-Man, and he used to play, like, Mario Kart and stuff with me when I was a little kid. So, it's not completely foreign, but, like, modern games have escaped them. Okay, the world. Let's go see what's going on here in the forums. Where can I get the Olm Shell? Yep, we knew about that. There was a mention of the Granite Sword. You just want, like, earth things that you can stick in your sword. So we got a keyword for that. Wind-resistant armor from Green Dye. Hi there, my name is Green Dye. I'm looking for a wall vest. I want to get it in an area so that it doesn't actually cost me anything. Is that possible? Renji says, yeah, there's a couple ways to do it. First is to get a customized item already made. So go to a wind-type level 28 field, open up the chest in the beast statue, and there you could just get one. So try this area word. It's a pain, since you have to actually finish the mission, but that's the surest way to get it. Since you have to fight, it may not exactly be cost-free, though. And the word is Delta Agonizing Friend's Nemesis. And then Renji says, the second way of getting it is to customize it after getting all the tools and materials separately. This process is a bit of a pain, but it's probably the cheaper way to do it. First, you go to a level 18 earth field and break all the barrels until you get a calm propeller. Calm? Oh my gosh. It was a combination of calm propeller and barrel, apparently. I don't know what my brain is doing right now. We're just going to take a sip of water here. If you get a calm propeller, you're doing okay. Let me go ahead and tell you an area word. Delta Rough Song Dusk's Hand Song. Okay. And then you go to a level 28 Fire Earth field and start opening up trapped treasure chests. So here's another keyword. And there you can get a loose vest, which you can customize with a calm propeller, and get the wall vest. If you can somehow avoid fighting, you may even be able to do it cost-free like you wanted. I don't know why he's saying that if you get into a fight, it's automatically going to cost you. I mean, it costs you a little bit of time, but you're running through a dungeon in a game. That's what you're doing. I don't know. Anyway, Green Dye says thank you. I don't know how to thank you, especially after your guidance with the area words. Since I don't like using healing items, I think I'm going to try the second method. Tenichi Tenjo is here, playing solo as usual. It's not that I don't have any friends, though. It's just that I don't belong to a guild. It's not that I wasn't invited to join one. I just don't want to have to log on every single day. Lol. Even so, I'd be grateful if someone could help me out. I'm looking for Ill Axe and a Water Altair. I want to get it as a drop item from a monster, or from a treasure, from a box, etc., etc. Applestar says, well, for the Ill Axe, you can go to a level 35 water dungeon. There's some words. There, open up the chest at the temple. I think it'll be an Ill Axe, but it's random, so, you know, you may not get it on your first try. For the Water Altair, you can get one by beating a Rue Zyger. Okay, that's a fun-sounding monster. Counting Heretic's Frog Leg. I love just the random phrases. I think they're great. And Tenichi says, thank you. I'm going to go do that. Okay, there's another post here about a hidden quest of some sort. Vakarata says, so the world has a hidden quest. Gyon says, wait, is it true? Let me hear the details. Tuna King says, yeah, it sounds like a lie. Kanuta says, it's only natural for an MMO like the world to have one or two hidden quests. It'd be kind of weird if it didn't. Vekarata says, I heard about it on a site that posts info about the Japanese version of the world. Something called the Abisu Quest. Tuna King says, Abuse Quest? Vakarata says, no, Abyss. Typically a deep, bottomless pit. Apparently there's an incredible boss monster at the end of it. With my Japanese, that's about all that I could understand. Kanuta says, Do you have any other details about this incredible boss? Were there any pictures or anything? Bakurata says, no, just text. I was using a dictionary to try and read it, but I didn't do all that well. Words like lake, spray, the dead, things like that. Gion says, there's a lake, and at the bottom of it is the boss. Tuna King says, it's Ebisu. Ganuda says, have fun finding him, because he won't be there. I wonder if that's referring to, like, the lake with the tree where we ran into Endrance or something. I don't know. That's odd. Job of multi-weapon. Masaki posts in here. So, here's the new thread. This is originating from the job extension thread. The purpose of this thread is to explain why rogues are weaker than other classes. Okay, all you lecturers, let's hear what you got. I'm going to leave it to you guys. I'm just opening the thread here. Kagari says, yes, please, someone. Sagittarius, same thing. Yes, please, I would also appreciate hearing this. Renji says, well, I guess I've been asked to answer this. Lol. Well, let me start off with a rogue's characteristic. Strong points. They can use a ton of different weapons. Character's appearance change with the job extension. It's just so cool. Weak points. It can use a lot of weapons, but it isn't really super good at any of them. The higher your level gets, the more you'll notice huge differences in the weapon mastery. I think it's just like... I'm assuming what he's trying to say is your skill points are being split between multiple weapons. So rather than having 10 levels of the one weapon that you can use, you're probably going to be closer to 5 levels of the first weapon and 5 levels of the second. Or if you have 3, it's probably going to be closer to, like, 3-ish points or 3-ish levels in each of your 3 different weapons, something like that. Renji continues saying, a rogue is a jack of all trades and a master of none. I think that should sum it up. And as mentioned above, the rogue's strong points mostly revolve around improving the player's image. It's kind of an ego thing. Perfect for Haseo. If you look at it from a system point of view, a rogue is just a weaker version of all the other jobs combined, because no matter which weapon you use, it won't be as good as, or you won't be as good with it as a real master. As a result, though, a rogue looks like it's flexible enough to deal with any situation, but the truth is it can't handle any situation easily. Generally, they're just weak, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know. People, it sounds like they're just trying to convince themselves that rogues aren't super OP. But you know that we are. Sagittarius coming in here with the pertinent questions. But I heard the PKK Terror of Death was really strong. And the Terror of Death was a rogue, right? So doesn't that mean some rogues actually are strong, then? Oracle's coming in here with, I think he hits the nail on the head. It's a matter of the player's skill. The more skilled the player is, the better they're going to be regardless of class. Also, maybe he spent more money on equipment and abilities. I also bet he has a lot of rare abilities, like an avatar. He didn't say that last part. I just kind of added that in there. But, it's true. Haseo does have an avatar. Kagari, so you're saying that a character's strength is mostly based on equipment and abilities? Oracles, yeah, to a point. But the thing is, strengthening your character with abilities isn't just for rogues. If the idea behind strengthening your character to improve their strong points... If the idea behind strengthening your character is to improve their strong points, there we go, I missed a word, then a rogue can never compete. Nogmung, ultimately it all comes down to your own skill. Whatever ability you have, Lady Luck treats everyone the same. Yep, abilities don't matter that much. You have to believe in your beautiful self. Then you can become a true warrior. Now is the time to stand up. Time for us brainiacs to take over the world as rogues. Renji says, yes, go for it, Nogmung. And regarding the comment about Lady Luck treating everyone the same, oh, that's for sure. Whatever ability you have, you've got to use it. Otherwise, it's like not having it at all. Sagittarius. Okay, then, if 2 players of equal strength with equal equipment and equal abilities fight each other, one being a blade brandier and the other being an adept rogue, who will lose? Oracle says, haha, I think the rogue would lose. Renji also says if everything else was equal, the rogue would lose, no doubt about it. Masaki, same thing. Nogmung, same thing. Kagari. Whew, sounds like a thorny road for the rogue. I don't know. I mean, Haseo's doing a pretty good job of holding his own, except for when the game decides that he can't hold his own. Ooh, here we go. People talking about a bug. Renji says, I just met some weird monster. No matter how much I hit it, its HP wouldn't go down, and no status effects worked on it either. I couldn't even run away when I used a smoke screen. Nothing worked, so I just had to, cut the power to my computer. I did a forced logout. Has anyone else fought a monster like this? Was it a bug or like an event? Should I try to contact CC Corporation? Oshino 8Cs says, wow, that's a pretty wild move you performed there. You didn't ruin your player data or anything like that? I've never heard of an event like that. I think it must be a bug. The monster, though, what did it look like? Can you describe it? Renji says, oh, thanks for worrying about my player data, but no, it was okay. It looked like a normal Holy Eater, but now that you mention it, the effects were kind of off. There were these black spots all around the monster, and the screen was kind of fuzzy. We've seen that before. We've seen the weird black spots. So that means we should know what that is. It's Ida. Sounds like Ida. Sounds like he ran into Ida. Nuada says, hey Renji, you're always working so hard at leveling up. Nice going. Sorry to hear about the bug. Sounds kind of rough. By the way, where did you meet it? Tell us the details. Oshino 8C says, black spots. Renji, I would also like to hear the details. Is there somewhere we can meet and talk? This may be important. Renji's talking to Nuada. Oh, Guildmaster, please forgive me for not showing up lately. Nuada's his Guildmaster. That's great. And I also forgot the area word, so please forgive me. To Oshino 8Cs, I'm currently building up my third character. Do you mind talking while I build my character? Nuada says, isn't that rude, Renji? You should at least look at him while you talk. Oshino 8Cs, I would also like to hear what Renji has to say. So, I'll let you use my guild hall to talk in. I'll give you the key, so come meet me in Makanu, okay? Oshino 8C says, if it's alright with Renji, it's alright with me. Nuada, you run a guild? I didn't know that. Nuada says, yeah, I never mentioned it before. The guild's name is Imperio. Ooh, we've bought things from them before. We bump into their shop every now and then. Oh, and Encephalon is in the guild as well. Alright, okay. Sounds like everyone is agreeing with meeting up here. Sounds good. Nuada's gonna go wait at the Imperial Guild Hall. Yeah, okay. So they're just gonna go meet up and talk about the weird black spots bug thing. Try to figure out what is going on there. More Crimson Versus stuff. I don't really care. We still can't play it. People talking about the news. Electronic Town! Ohara just came out with new virtual software. I've got all 3 chapters. I just love virtual shopping. I heard this one takes place in Shibuya, but I wonder how it will be compared to the previous ones. Shibuya is such a young person's town. I worry how I would look walking around there. Someone tell me if I should buy this or not. Kagare says, I liked it. They reproduced the 901 building well. They even showed the Hachiko and Moai statues in front of the train station. Lol. I know nothing about Shibuya, so... I mean, I know it's just like a big... All my knowledge of Shibuya comes from Persona 5. We'll just leave it at that. The basic system is the same as it has always been. It's only your avatar that walks around the town. Apple Star coming in here saying, I recommend the virtual movie theater. It's cool that you can see the latest movies right in your own home. If you order it beforehand, they even deliver you some popcorn. There's no reason to go to a regular movie theater anymore. Lol, but I don't recommend it to people who actually want to see movies on a big screen. Kaina says, you can do whatever you want until your electronic payment is made, so just try everything on first. I can try on clothes without getting them ruined. The AI employees are really nice too. But it's quite depressing when you take off the M2D and have to face reality. And Tenora says, it's nice being able to see a movie from home. I want to be able to see Johnny Pitt in my own room too. Is that a combination of Johnny Depp and Brad Pitt, maybe? And I know what you mean about having to face reality. That's the big problem. Having to unplug. Hey, Bass Base is back. Knocked out in a network game? It looks like there was another case of someone falling into a coma as a result of playing The World. How many times does this have to occur? It's going on as usual today, but shouldn't they stop the service for a moment and try to figure out the cause of these incidents? Goron says, I think the cause is with the player. This quote sums it up. It was a junior high school girl who was logged in for 2 days straight, He says, as this sums up, maybe people were playing the game for too long. I mean, the idea of a game sending someone into a coma is ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as like a haunted videotape or something. Nanase Mitabi says, don't make light of haunted videos. Those are true stories. Stella says, I've got a little question. Is there any reason, other than an occult one, that a player could be put into a coma from playing a game? Goran says, I think the most likely explanation is that people are playing the game for too long. There are two main reasons why she might have collapsed. One is deep vein thrombosis, commonly called the economy class syndrome. Due to being in one position for a long time, a blood clot will form within the veins of the lower body, and then it'll travel to the lungs and obstruct blood flow. The result would usually be respiratory problems, which can lead to death, and also exhaustion, which can also lead to death. It is also possible that suddenly going from nervousness to excitement could cause the collapse, but it's not common and would not last for an extended period of time. Stella says, it's just a thought, but don't you think the second reason is the cause of this death? The exhaustion, like extreme exhaustion from just playing the game for 2 or 3 days straight? Applestar chiming in, but isn't it odd that the world is in a class of its own when it comes to the number of such incidents? If the world were a game that for some reason made you extremely tired, I could understand then. Fukugen Tsuki says, the world has the most players, it is the most interesting game, and it's the easiest to get excited about. It's also the most famous, so the media likes to make more stories about it. There may have been other such incidents in other games that were not reported. Shouldn't they try to stop the service and figure out what's going on? I don't know if that would do any good. Faye says, I wonder if it was caused by intense flashing lights. And Oracle says, I wonder if there's a skill in the world that does that. Masaki says, well, wouldn't it be fair to assume that it was something wrong with the player? And Oracles says, yeah, I bet that's what it was. Little do they know that it's the 8 phases running around data draining people and putting them in comas, and or giving the book to Kite so that he could data drain people, or enemies, I guess. I wonder if Kite could have actually data drained people. I guess there was no PvP in the world. There was previously PvP in the world, but it was disabled for a while, and during the part where it was disabled, that's where Kite was playing. Because, like Sora, the character who was trapped inside Skaith's wand that we rescued in the first 4 games, he was a notorious PvPer. He went around hunting people. He actually worked for Morgana and was supposed to PvP. He was supposed to like take out either Tsukasa or like Tsukasa's friends, like Bear and Mimiru and them. Something like that. Yeah, something for whatever reason. I don't know what the in-world lore reason was, but for some reason they disabled PvP for a while. And that's when we ended up playing. But I wonder if Kite could have actually used data drain on other people. We know that Haseo can. We kind of were forced to data drain Pi. Luckily she was in her avatar, so... Okay, Baby Ken's mom talking about internet education. I'm going to take the opportunity to open a new thread. I look forward to all your responses. The other day, I was surprised by something on the internet. There was an unfamiliar website in my favorites folder. I thought it was probably a prank for my son, so I took a look and found many familiar photos. It was my son's website. I asked my son, and he confirmed that he had made it himself. I try to stay with him as much as I can while he's on the computer, but I don't know how he found the time to create such a thing, since I've been terribly worried about what kinds of sites he visits and what he's doing on the internet while I'm not looking. I'd like to know what the rest of you are doing with regards to internet education, as in education about how to use the internet. Marion says, my son is doing all sorts of things I don't know about too. He's got speakers and all sorts of other electronics connected to his computer, doing all kinds of weird things. Last week, he told me to buy some computer game called Ace Orc, or something like that. Although I refused, since it wasn't his birthday or any other special occasion, he somehow managed to buy the thing on his own. I asked how he got the money, and he said that he had been doing some part-time work. So I know how Baby Ken's mom feels. Things just happen before you notice them. I don't think this problem is just with the internet either. I wonder if we're all doing the wrong thing by buying our children computers. Oh, just wait until smartphones become a thing. Kagari says, it's true that the problem has been around a lot longer than the internet. They said that if you read comics or watched movies, you become stupid. Or if you play offline games, you'll get short-tempered. In the old days, they said reading novels turned you into a juvenile delinquent. Times change. Notice that comics, movies, and novels were the things that were cultures too modern for an adult back when they were controversial. Right now, the medium is computers and the internet. Novels and movies had not made a bad influence. That sentence hurts my head. So the same can be said for computers and the internet. Kyoragi says, but the problem is that unlike comics, movies, or novels, it is hard to understand the internet as a whole. Am I correct? All this fear-mongering of I don't have the time or energy or capacity to understand thing that kids are doing, therefore thing that kids are doing must be bad. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think the majority of parents would like to show a good example of the internet's usage, but they don't fully understand its power. Why don't we start by looking at our children's internet textbooks? I don't know what they call it now, but in my day, we called it the science of information communication. Then from there, we can gradually expand our scope and understand a lot more about the internet. You people are posting on a friggin' message board for a video game. You understand the internet to some degree because this is not a thing that plebs would be doing, I guess, for lack of a better term. If you don't understand, you can't teach or lead. Let's do our best for our beloved children. Oracle says, I can understand your concern, but kids are people too. And trying to understand all there is to the internet is too difficult a task. I think it sounds a bit out there. Tenjin says, I know it's true, but when children get involved in some incident, it's still a responsibility of the parents, so you can't just let them do whatever they want, right? Midnight Special says, all you can tell them is this. Don't hand over your personal information, don't send chainmail, and don't go clicking on links you don't have to. I love that he puts chainmail in there. Just don't forward along those things that say something bad will happen unless you forward this along to 10 other people. Don't do that. Those are bad. As long as they follow those rules, the rest is up to them. What an odd and very specific concern. Baby Ken's mom, coming back, Marianne, I feel so much better knowing there are other people who have the same fears that I do. Let's both do our best, okay? And to Kyoragi, I think you are 100% correct. I think that if I had the knowledge myself, I would have noticed that my son had built a website. I regret my lack of knowledge of the internet. Although, little by little, I plan on learning more. They say that the tortoise wins the race against the hare, right? Bartels says, parents these days are too overprotective. They act like they don't trust their kids at all. We follow netiquette without being told. If we see something suspicious, we don't touch it. You should trust your kids a little more. After all, kids make decisions too. Oh, Bartels, you are a child. Okay, and then talking about tech, the future of methane from Faye. I just saw the threat of CH4 thread. Methane is pretty scary? What are they going to do with that stuff? Can they make a profit off of it? What are they thinking? Cocky Leader says, they say a sparrow doesn't understand a falcon's heart. Or in other words, I have no clue. Goran says, it's just because Japan is poor in natural resources. Anything we can make domestically is better than nothing, right? A good example is the production of agricultural goods such as rice and wheat. Even though it would be cheaper to import it from other countries, the government subsidizes farmers to grow it domestically. This is in order to ensure that we can at least produce the minimum amount of food needed in case there's a crisis situation. The same thing could be said for energy. Japan has almost no energy resources of its own. That's why we're always so hungry for it and willing to take risks to be sure that we have it. Faye says, now I'm starting to understand, but it sounds like it could have a bad effect on the rest of the world. It's a tough problem. I guess there are no easy answers, and Oracle says, yeah, that's why they need to think through the issue a bit more carefully. But it is hard to overturn a decision like that. I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't even remember anything about the methane. I'll click into the Crimson Versus stuff just to get that to stop showing as new at some point. I'll do that on my own time, though. Ooh, things happening here. Okay, Vertical Cupid got some info on Crimson Versus. I got some info. Apparently they're going to start selling real cards based on the ones from Crimson Versus, so if you're frustrated about not being able to play it online, why don't you try it out? My source is the manager of a game shop. Sorry, I can't reveal the store's name. Faye says, whoa, are you serious? I've got to tell everyone at the Crimson Versus board. Thanks for the info, Vertical Cupid. Nuada says, let me make an additional comment. It seems that Crimson Versus is about to reopen soon. Hooray! Apparently both the server expansion and the software upgrade are going well. Of course, these are just rumors. Metan says, I have a feeling that if they started selling the real cards the same day they reopen online, no one would buy them. Judeka says, well, think about it. They start selling the real cards, the cards sell well, then they reopen the online services. That's how I think it's going to happen. Man, with the world, Crimson Versus, and now real cards, my wallet's going to be crying out in pain. Nuada here with a rumor about Triage being cited. Interesting. I heard some interesting rumors, so here they are. And I think this is what Gaspard, I think it was Gaspard, was telling us about earlier in the email. Something probably in this chain. Remember, people went to the Morag Barrow wall and were ambushed by Triage. He just came up from behind them and freaked them out. And by air quotes, Triage, what they really meant was Pyros, who was just still there, probably still sleeping. So I heard some interesting rumors. Here they are. If you target and search the scratch in the altar in Hulgrand's Cathedral, you will become cursed. The first day after being cursed, your character will gain a triangular wound on their body. The second day, you will gain the same wound on your body in real life. On the third day, Triage will show up and PK you in real life. To break the curse, you must tell 3 people about the story, but they must be 3 people who've never heard the story before. So Triage has finally started showing up in real life. Gotta hand it to him, lol. Judeka says, whoa, if this were true, I'd be PK'd like 10 times by now. Rothel. Golden Jet. Wow, this one's one on a totally different destructive scale than the rest, isn't it? He's his own WMD, or Weapon of Mass Destruction, I'm assuming, lol. Now, not only do you fall into a coma if your character gets PK'd, but now he'll come PK you in real life. Maybe next he'll start running the 100-meter dash in 3 seconds or something, lol. Leo Suke says, question marks? Just don't understand. Golden Jet says, do you know the urban legend about the woman with the crooked mouth? The one where she's always saying, is my face pretty? Part of the rumor is that this woman is said to be able to run the 100-meter dash in 3 seconds. Basically, it was added to the rumor to emphasize that you could never run away from her. I wanted to say that next they'll be taking that part of the rumor and adding it to Triage to emphasize that you cannot run away from him or he's PKing either. Okay, that is not exactly the rumor I was expecting it to be, but who knows. Alright, Killer Whale. How do you all do? I'm Killer Whale. I think I might have met him. He had a huge shadow. Here we go. This is it. This is the one I was talking about. It was like huge and like, what's the word? Intimidating. He came at me like lightning. I had to run for my life all the way back to town. Nanase Mitabi says, what are you talking about? Applestar says, ooh, how do you do? I am Applestar. That must have been rough. So what did you even see? Like, what are you talking about? Killer Whale says, oh, I'm so sorry. After rereading my post, I admit, even I couldn't tell what I wanted to say. I'm sorry. I was still recovering from shock when I wrote it. Basically, I think I may have encountered Triage. The place I saw him was at Morag Barrow in the Lost Ground. While I was standing there, minding my own business, all of a sudden a giant shadow came up from behind me. When I turned around in surprise, I saw red eyes staring out at me, and I panicked and ran away. It really freaked me out. So basically, everyone, please be careful when you go to Morrigborough. So yes, this is, this is Pyros. Is that really Tri-Edge? Tri-Edge looks like that twin blade who was involved in the incident 7 years ago, right? 7 years. So we actually have a time frame now. Cool. I thought he was supposed to look kind of lanky. Applestar says, I agree, but I don't think you can say for sure. I mean, Tri-Edge is a twin blade, right? I've never heard of a twin blade being that big. Maybe you made a mistake? Killer Whale says, oh, I guess I made a mistake then. I'm sorry for presenting my false information, but I was still very scared. Nanasi Matabi says, don't worry about it, but I'm glad you made it back safe. So, lots of people have made the connection that Tri-Edge apparently looks like kites. Like that's just common knowledge, I guess, here on the rumor board at least, if nothing else. So, that's interesting. Okay, Upcaller, what new art do we have? Oh gosh, we have a lot of stuff. Ooh, Terror of Death, this is me. So, we already read the first few of these. Here's my shot of drawing Haseo. He's a rogue, but he's so strong. I haven't seen him for a while. What's going on? Well, since you're not allowed to make a player with the same name in the world, maybe he remade his character? Just recently, I saw a guy in the arena who had the same name. Aww. Tanu has a kitty Haseo picture. It's no fun having a good-looking Terror of Death. Here's a kitty version of him. Aww, look at how adorable Haseo is. You can almost think that he's not just, like, a jerk. Looking at that picture. Yukichi says, you just made me spit up my tea. Lol, what the hell is this? It's so cute. Hasei meow. I like it. Lol. That was a pretty bad pun. Tano says, "Mwahahaha. It is cute, isn't it? But okay, if I goof off too much, I think the real Terror of Death would come and get me, so here's a cool drawing of him instead." Yeah. I remember the opening cutscenes where level 133 Haseo had the big old, like, red spikes sticking out. He was very, very spiky. Midnight Special says, ooh, that's awesome. You're really good at drawing, both cute and cool. How did you learn to draw like that? Tano says, just keep drawing. Midnight Special says, okay, I see. I'll draw like there's no tomorrow. I hope you'll take a look when it's finished. That's pretty cool. Ooh, the Seven Council's cool from Fuchu. I haven't posted in a long time, but here goes nothing. The other day, I saw Zelkova and Kaede of the Seven Council. Those two are really cool. I'd like to join Moontree as well. Of course, my level's far too low for them to consider me, so that's not bad. Blue Eye Samurai says, nice expressions. Machi says, I like your color usage. It's very relaxing. Moontree members can often be seen holding membership drives, you know. Well, I'm still unsure of which guild I want to join, personally. SR says, I feel lost in the gaze of the person in the red outfit. Lovely. P says, yeah, same here. I'm not sure what guild I want to join either. What kinds of things do they do within these guilds anyway? Someone, please tell me. Also, how did you go about choosing your current guild? Guma-chan says, I'd probably go for a guild that had a lot of hot guys. For example, if we're talking about the Seven Council. Oh, Sakaki. But I might have a soft spot for a cute boy like Zelkova, too. I just want to hug him and squeeze him until his little eyes popped. Oh, and I like the wild feeling you get from the beasts. Oh my, I sound like a schoolgirl, don't I? Sorry for getting the thread off track. Lol. NACL says, I just happened to be walking around the town and just happened to get invited to a guild and just happened to join and just happened to be staying with them. You must have seen people around town trying to recruit new members for their guilds by now. If you're going to join a guild, I recommend one with members that you can enjoy talking to. Mayako, aka One Half, says, oh, what a cute picture. I think I just became a fan. Show me more. And P says, Kuma-chan, NACL, thank you for replying to my question. I see now. Next time I'm walking around town, I'll be sure to keep an eye out for recruiters. All helping people find their guilds. Katsura says, I joined Moontree. That's not bad. I'm currently undergoing training with the hope of joining the Seven Council. Good luck to all of us. Takatopi says, alright, I'm going to work hard and try to join the Seven Council too. Here's to the goal of becoming the new Unit 7 leader. And Blue Eyes Samurai says, I hope your endeavor becomes reality. Found a new breed, Gurame. Aww. I went to visit my friend's guild, and their guildmaster had just been replaced when I came across a rare grunty. Oh, I wonder if he's friends with either Gaspard or Syllabus. Because, you know, that's Death Grunty. And our guildmaster was just replaced by me. He actually had no hat on whatsoever. It's the first grunty I've seen where that happened. Truly a rare sight. And its personality was that of a little kid, which only added to the cuteness. And he glares up at you with those little eyes. It was almost too cute for words. I wish I could have taken him home with me. Sigh. And SR says, a Jim rice cake. Give it to him the next time you see it. Okay. That's a thing. Blue Eye Samurai. What are you talking about? Machi says, never mind SR's chim rice cake. Lol, that grunty is just too cute. Whoa, maybe I should go into the guild where this grunty is. Lol, do you know which guild it is? SR says, sorry for the extreme abruptness. I apologize, Gurame. I didn't mean to write such a weird response. Incidentally, the grunty in my guild is all droopy-eyed. Gurame says, well, the guild is called Canard. Apparently, it's a guild founded to help support noobs, technically, I guess. SR, no worries, your drawings are really cute, so don't worry about it. Look at that, it's us. It's our Death Grunty. I'm Grunty. You're Hiseo. Oink. Aw, Chim Chim. More Chim Chim. Oh my gosh, so many Chim Chims. So much Chim. Johnson, I love Chim Chims. I also love maitake mushrooms. That's an awesome Chim Chim with all the mushrooms coming out of his head. Machi says, wow, Johnson, you've gotten amazingly good at drawing bewildering pictures. Very nice job on the mushrooms, lol. And Bass says, mushrooms? Man, that's great. So what kinds of mushrooms are maitake? Are they the kind found in miso soup or the kind found in gratin? Sodium Chloride says, maitake! I would never have thought there would be a mushroom chim out there. Lol, I really like the chim's face. It's so cute. Lol. The rear view is great too. Lol. I think the maitake are for miso soup. Dendero says, maitake are great in anything. Picking mushrooms, kicking chims, and getting chim spheres. Truly a character that's both beautiful on the inside and the outside. Of course, it's probably not so much fun for the chim. Lol. Dendero says to Johnson, the chim lover, did you know these kinds of things are for sale? Unfortunately, I don't know exactly where they're being sold, but look, it's chim bread. Ah. I would kick that bread. Machi. The custard coating and the forcefully drawn chocolate toppings are strangely realistic, lol. Himigon says, this tattoo is my heart's desire. In real life, of course. Look at that, got my tattoo. Oh, it's a chim shoulder. That's interesting. Maria says, oh my, how cute. I wonder if I should try one too. And Machi says, oh, what a cute chim tattoo. Lol. I love the world designs. They're so cool. They look like tribal tattoos. Okay. Pierce My Mind by Himigon. Instead of being heavily armored, this girl's got to be lightly armored, so she can quickly thrust. Thrust, 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 thrust. She doesn't swing to take out her enemies, she just keeps thrusting. Thrusting, thrusting. Is she like a Lord Partisan then, I'm assuming? Like Pyros? Very Easy says, I never thought that these bands around the thigh would dazzle me. Boy, what I wouldn't give to be led around town and fields by a girl like this. And Liquid says, thrust me! Young Soldier 2 says, me too, lol. This is, not sure what to think about that one. Heat Man, posted by Julius. Ooh, look at that, it's Matsu. The other day, I logged in and there was a very passionate person. He was constantly dazzling like this. Phew, the world really is a passionate place. Just one of the reasons I can't give it up. Mayako says, what a great drawing. I'd love to run into this person. Blue Eye Samurai says, oh, well done. Machi says, great job. I'm getting fired up just looking at it. I like how the bones of his elbows are sticking out. It's tickling my fetish. I'd love to meet this guy too. I bet it would be lots of fun to make up a party with him, lol. It could also be interesting searching out players who've made it big off of this forum. Lunar Soldier says, I'm a member of Moon Tree, and this man, well, his name is Matsu, and honestly, I have to wonder how much fun it would be to form a party with him. He's supposed to be one of the leaders, yet he's always going off on his own. Oh, and I do hope you can keep this a secret. Hey, what are you doing? Stop that! Sodium Chloride says, hello, my name is NaCl. I'm a true beginner who's only recently begun to play. Pleased to meet you all. After seeing the above illustration, I found myself writing a response without realizing how dreamy. So he's called Matsu, eh? What a very hot person. I'd love to meet him myself someday. Not that he'd take me seriously anyway, lol. Julius is responding to everybody, all the people who've been saying nice things about his work. Nice to meet you, Mayako. Thank you for your kind words. I'd like to meet him again myself. It'd be so exciting. And Blue Eye Samurai, I feel the soul of a samurai. Machi, fired up, eh? Maybe we should form a search party and go looking for him. Lol. Lunar Soldier, thank you for the info. So he's called Matsu, eh? I like the Japanese sound of that. And he goes off on his own. I see, but, could be pretty hot, And NaCl. Actually, I'm still a noob myself, lol. Nice to meet you, and thanks for the compliments. Personally, I'd want to follow him around, even if I was completely ignored. What? I'm not stalking. Oh, yes. Beautiful. P says, how do you do? I'm called P. Thanks for having me. What a great picture. I'd like to meet this Matsu guy myself. Speaking of hot people, I also saw a guy who was strangely fired up, almost obnoxious. He was screaming as he ran along. It was kind of funny to watch. Ah, yes. The slow Doberman. Beautiful. Kuma-chan says, nice to meet you, P. I'm Kuma-chan. Glad to have you here. So that person that you saw was sparkling all over, eh? Looks like he'd have a hard time not standing out. What was he screaming? Lol, I love funny guys. Maybe I'll look for him myself. And P says, oh yeah, you could make him out from at least a mile away. I think you'd have an easier time running into him than you think. Oh, Pyros. Oh my gosh, there's still more to go through. Biwa, who I believe is one of the, famous artists that kind of got a start here. Yes. I wonder what his name is. Thank you to all who praised or encouraged me after my last post. I truly appreciate it. It made me so happy I somehow ended up posting here again. These days, I'm all about this guy. It's the oddly fiery announcer of the arena. To be perfectly honest, I think I might see the fights just to hear him announce. Am I the only one? That's a pretty good drawing. Machi says, ooh, another fantastic job, Biwa. You hit me right in the spot. Lol. I think this guy's main draw is his bell-bottom-like outfit. Maria says, I know what you mean. That announcer is terrific and surprisingly good-looking. I'd love to get a closer look, if only once. And once again, your pictures are fantastic. Very Easy says, beautiful! I'd expect no less from a pro. What a difference. By the way, is this really what the announcer looks like? I only know his voice. I think I'll head to the arena and take a look. That's cool. We got some good art there. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, I think we have one last thing to go check out, and I think it's the official forums. Yeah. The Gabi Q&A. Oh yes, that's still going. Apparently, apparently it's still going. I love it. All right. Margarine says, my dream is to become a programming prodigy and get rich and live on the top floor of a really tall building. What is your dream for the future, Gabi? Please tell us. And Gabi says, a girl's got to have her secrets. Zodiac Mark II says, hello, Gabi. Today, I have something I would like to ask you. Why did you begin playing the world? For me, it was because a friend told me I should try it, and I'm very grateful to him. I eagerly await your answer. Gabi's answer is... I forget. Suzuya Heihachi says, I have a girl that I like in real life. Whenever I see her, my heart starts pounding and I get dizzy and I don't even know what I'm saying. I want to invite this girl to go to a movie, but whenever I try, my legs start shaking and I end up saying totally random things. What should I do? Please tell me, Gabi. Gabi's response... just say it. Margarine again. My name is Margarine, and I asked you a question before, Gabi. Are you actually a woman? I just didn't expect it. Can you tell me the truth? Gabi says, I'm Gabi in real life, too. Pig of the Sea. Hey there, Gabi. Your level's pretty up there, isn't it? But I've only ever seen you when you're on your throne or when you're talking to your guild members. Where and how did you level up like that? I wonder about it so much I can't sleep. I'm going to blame you if my insomnia becomes serious. Please tell me, Gabi. Gabi says, sleep! I love it. The question 9, or answer 9, is my favorite. I'm Gabi in real life, too. Fantastic. Just perfect. Okay, Moontree contact only. Posted by Sakaki. This is Sakaki, Moontree's Unit 2 leader. It looks like the previous thread has disappeared, so I've taken the liberty of making a new one. Please use it for communications, reports, etc. Thank you. Kaede says, from the Unit 3 leader, recently seems that there have been some players acting thoughtlessly towards others in Lumina Cloth, especially in the arena. Behavior that consists of tormenting or harassing other players is strictly against our guild's policy. If certain members appear to be involved in such incidents, the Seven Council will discuss those members' right to participate in the arena. Currently, Moontree does not prohibit arena battles. However, participation is merely a right given the good behavior of members. Moontree does not officially endorse its members to participate in the arena. Please keep this in mind, and thank you for not doing anything that may sully our guild's name. Boy, that's a... She sounds like a really fun person to hang out with. And Atalie. Good work, everyone. I'm Atalie, a member of Moontree's Unit 2. Our last seminar closed its doors amidst great success, thanks to all who participated and helped to make it great. I thank you all sincerely. Unit 2 is currently undergoing preparations for the next seminar, therefore we would like to gather opinions of how to go about making it another great success. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like to discuss, or people you'd like to hear from, please whisper to either myself, Kunugi, Kashiwa, or Daidai. Thank you. And we can respond to it about Moontree. You're turning me off. This is pretty shady. I have no idea what all these people who want to participate are thinking, lol. No, that's a very Haseo answer, but we're not going to do that. Man, you seem even more excited than usual. Do you get a kick out of assembling people? I bet you're the class president or something in real life. Or about Moontree. Wow, you guys really do hold seminars. I'm kind of surprised. So, do you have to be a guild member to participate? We'll do that one. That's also like the least Haseo thing that we could have said. Yay! Atalie affection went up. Woohoo! Okay. Holy moly, that was like an hour of reading. I didn't expect there to be that much stuff, but that's what I get for putting it all off. Like I said, I'm gonna go just click through the Crimson Verses stuff. We'll read all of Crimson Verses, or a bunch of it, at some point in the future. Just not right now. What do I want? Yeah, Haseo third form. What do we want as the background now? We had a lot of new options. The hot guy. Yeah, we could have Matsu up there. I think we're gonna go with this one though. I think that's a pretty good background image. I like all the watercolory looking ones, like the ones that look painted. First Adventure, there were a couple of those that were really cool. The entrance one is still amazing. That one's really, really, really awesome. Ooh, we could put Death Grunty up there. Or the Chimbread. Get some good options. Yeah, here we go. This one. I like that one. The party one. That one's really cool too. I think we'll stick with the best character in the franchise for now. Just have him hanging out back there, being nice and sparkly. Yeah, that does it for this video. Thank goodness. Thank goodness there's nothing else to read. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening, I guess, in this case. And may the grace of the Twilight Dragon be with you.